All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to do our monthly Bitcoin and Bitcoin miner update. Yesterday, finally, we got all 10 Bitcoin miners to release their operational reports for the month of March. So I have updated all my numbers, all my charts. I want to go through, and there are some significant trends that are starting to show up. So I think 2023 is getting a little clearer. So I hope you stick with me. Today is another update and a very green day for all the Bitcoin miners, but I'm not going to look at that right now. I'm going to go to my charts, my monthly charts. So let's start out by looking at what each company mined in the month of March. So as always, I've excluded Core Scientific from this list. They did mine 1,410 Bitcoin. That's the most out of everybody. However, they are in Chapter 11, so it's not comparing apples to apples. So of the companies that are not currently in bankruptcy, here are the results. So coming in at number one, and I want everybody to notice, because this is what I'm saying. We're going to start to see some trends on these reports. If you look at the bottom, you're going to see a number on top. That's this month's ranking. And then a number in parentheses. That's last month's ranking. Things are starting to shake out and fall into order a little bit. You're going to see Marathon was number one this month at 825, and they were number one last month as well. Riot was number two at 695, so Marathon did have a big month, 825, Core Scientific notwithstanding. 825 is the most any of these Bitcoin miners have mined in a month in years. So that was a very, very strong performance for Marathon. You can see Riot was in second place, and it was also in second place last month. So once again, no change there. In third place is Cleanspark at 598, so just under 600 Bitcoin. So you're going to see third place, and Cleanspark was third place last month as well. So those top three, I think, are locked in for quite some time now. I'm not sure. There may be a little bit on any given month. One of them may jump ahead of the other, but I expect those to be number 1, 2, and 3 for at least the next 6 months. Okay, then at number 4, we have Bitfarms. So they were 4 this month. They were 5 last month. This is really the only change in the whole list. Bitfarms mined 424 Bitcoin, and they came in 4th. Cypher mined 413 Bitcoin, so just 11 less Bitcoin, and they came in 5th. So again, those two did switch from last month, but very, very close. Then at number 6 is Hive. So they actually had a strong month, 282 Bitcoin mined. You can see they were at number 6 last month. They're at number 6 again this month. There are a couple of miners with the potential to pass Hive this year, but I don't see that happening maybe next month, but things will shake up on this list. And you can see coming in at number 7 is TeraWolf with 233 Bitcoin. That's the most Bitcoin they've ever mined in a month. They were number 10 last month, so they jumped from 10 to 7. They jumped ahead of Iris, Argo Blockchain, and Hut. So that was a big move, and potentially they could continue to move up this list. Then it drops off down to 173 Bitcoin mined with Iris Energy, and they were at number 8. They were tied for 8th last month. They're at number 8 this month. So Iris Energy is another one who's adding exahash, and I expect that number to go up. So they could potentially move up the list as time goes by. Argo Blockchain mined 161. They were in 7th place last month. That now puts them in 9th place. I do expect them to fall to 10th place ultimately. They don't really have a growth plan, so unless they make some major announcement and raise some funds one way or another, I expect them to linger somewhere in 9th or 10th place. Maybe the rest of the whole year, we'll see. It's a long year. A lot of things can change, but right now, they are moving down the list at number 9. And then finally at number 10 is Hut. So they were tied for 8th last month. They mined 131 Bitcoin. So Hut continues to mine less and less Bitcoin. We need to see what they're doing. They obviously are in the middle of a potential merger. So they're very, very quiet at this point, and they're not mining a lot. However, this merger would more than double their exahash rate. So if the merger does go through, then I think you're going to see Hut maybe over the course of several months, kick back into gear and start to move back up this list again. If the merger does not go through, then Hut may be stuck around 8th, 9th, 10th place. We'll see what happens. If you enjoy this content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, also smash the like button, and you can hit the notification bell to get notified every time we make a video. Okay, so this is Bitcoin mined year to date for the first 3 months. So this is the first quarter of the calendar year 2023. So I did include Core Scientific on here. They didn't get a rank. They've mined 4,299 Bitcoin year to date. Of course, they've sold all of those Bitcoin as they're in Chapter 11 trying to pay off their debt. Core Scientific notwithstanding, Marathon is now in first place for the year. This is very tight. I know a lot of people don't perceive this. I did get several comments. Why do you keep acting like Riot and Marathon are similar in the amount that they mine? They're not. But if you take a look at this chart, you will see that they are. Now, Marathon had a great March, and they may start to pull away. However, that remains to be seen. We will see. Over the last year, Riot and Marathon have been neck and neck from a production standpoint, and really Cleanspark for most of that time has been very, very close as well. So number 1 is Marathon, 2,195 Bitcoin. Number 2 is Riot, 2,110 Bitcoin. Number 3 is Cleanspark, 1,871 Bitcoin. Those three, I think, have pulled away from the pack. And again, on the year-to-date list, I think you're going to see those three stay in the top 3 potentially all year. There are some that could potentially make a run at this, but those 3 right now have differentiated themselves. If they stay on target, no one's going to break into that top 3. But we saw a lot of strange things happen in 2022. So again, we're pretty early in the year this year. I'm not counting this until it happens. Okay, in 4th place is Bitfarms with 1,297. Okay, so in 5th place is Cypher, not too far behind. They mined 1,154 coins so far year to date. And then you can see there's another big drop off. So we get to Hive Blockchain in 6th place at 792. And then it drops off again to Wolf at 533 in 7th place and Iris at 501 in 8th place. Now, Wolf and Iris, although they're in 8th place and they're quite a bit behind Hive, they do have a lot of growth plans coming, so we will see if they can move up the list. Those two stand a chance of moving up this list over the course of the year. And then, of course, we have Argo Blockchain in 9th place at 491 and Hut in 10th place at 475. So Hut, again, is all going to be contingent on where they go from here. If this merger goes through, they will immediately increase their exahash and their production. If not, then we're going to have to see what their plan B is. So Hut is still a little bit of a question mark. These 10 right here, I expect these 10 to stay on this list for quite some time. I don't see another Bitcoin miner outside of these 10 breaking into the top 10 for at least another 6 months, maybe not all year, but again, last year did provide a lot of surprises, so we'll see what happens, but I'm not saying they're going to stay in the same order. I think there's going to be some shakeups throughout the year between 1 through 10, but this looks like the top 10 for now, at least for the several months to come. By the way, YouTube revenue is down significantly this year, so if you want to help support the channel, you can join and become a member by hitting the join button. Membership is only $5. There's as many as 50 videos ready and waiting for you. In addition to that, we have a members-only live stream every Tuesday after the market closes, so that would be today. On the live stream, members get to pick a company for me to do a deep dive on each week. In addition to that, we have a members-only Discord that I'm on a regular basis, on a daily basis, so we hope to see you there. Thanks for the members that are currently supporting, and welcome for those of you who choose to join. Okay, then if we go through exahash, again, I have Core Scientific listed on here. They're at 16.1, so they actually continue to decrease their exahash on a monthly basis, just a little bit per month. So I assume that's all a part of the bankruptcy process. So they're now at 16.1 exahash, but I'm not counting them in the top 10. I'm just showing them as a point of reference. So Marathon is now in 1st place at 11.5 exahash. Riot is in 2nd place at 10.5 exahash. Cleanspark is in 3rd place at 6.7 exahash. So there's your same top 3 again. Those have been the top 3 in everything so far. Those 3 also have plans to grow. So if everybody stays on their plan, Marathon, Riot, and Cleanspark should be the top 3 Bitcoin miners this year, but we've seen what happens to these plans, so it all looks good on paper. Let's see how they can execute. So they're set up to be the top 3 maybe all year long, but again, they will have to execute their plan this year because there's a lot of other Bitcoin miners that are coming on that have strong plans as well. Okay, coming in 4th place is Cypher, so they're at 5.7 exahash. So they have grown quite a bit. They have a path to 6 exahash, and then we're going to have to see where they go from there. Bitfarms is in 5th place. They are at 4.8 exahash, so they're slowly creeping up. So they remain solidly in 5th place. Hive is in 6th place at 3.36 exahash, so they continue to increase their exahash slowly but surely as well. Hive and Bitfarms are kind of methodically, very slowly increasing their exahash. Some of these other companies do have much bigger plans for the year, but again, even with Bitfarms and Hive, you can't be sure because at any time they could make an announcement like Cleanspark just did a few weeks ago that they ordered 45,000 machines. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. For the meantime, Hive is in 6th place. Wolf is in 7th place at 3.3. We know they plan to get up to 5.5 exahash in the next month or two. Iris Energy is at 3.1. We know they plan to get to 5.5 or 6 exahash in the next month or two. So we will see if those two jump up the list if they're able to execute and get to where they say they're going. HUT is at 2.6 exahash. That is fixed until this merger either does or does not go through. Argo blockchain is at 2.5 exahash. They have been stuck at 2.5 exahash, I think, for at least 6 months, if not more. And I don't know how they grow from here, so they are in 10th place on this list right now. I think they will stay in 10th place. I can't find, out of all the other publicly traded Bitcoin mining companies, a company that's likely to get up to 2.5 exahash in the next 90 days. Now, by the end of the year is a different story, so there could be Argo blockchain could fall off of this list altogether, or conversely, maybe they're going to surprise me and they're going to issue a purchase order and come forward with their plans from here. So that's the top 10 here. Okay, mining efficiency. This is the amount of Bitcoin each company mines per exahash. Now, I have updated my formula on this, and a lot of companies are reporting this directly. So if they reported it in their operational monthly report, I'm using their number. Hive is tied for first place at 91. Well, last month they were tied for first place at 91. So to me, that's very, very strong performance, particularly since the Bitcoin mining network did go up in difficulty. So Hive managed to stay in first place and stay at the same 91. So Bitfarms, you can say the exact same thing about. They were tied for first last month, and they are still tied for first this month. So 91 as well. So Hive and Bitfarms, and it's just by a small margin, but they are now tied for first 2 months in a row. So again, we're starting to see a little bit of clarity on this list. There are some companies that are going to have to make some changes and do better than they're doing. But right now, Hive and Bitfarms are doing great. Iris Energy is just one step behind them. They were in third place last month. They're in third place this month. Cleanspark is just one tiny step behind that at 89. They were in fourth place last month. They're in fourth place this month. But you can see those top four, the difference between first place and fourth place is 91 and 89. So very, very close in the top four here. And it's the same top four this month as it was last month. And I'm not sure that has happened before. So again, it looks like we're starting to get some clarity here. Some of these companies are starting to perform consistently. There's then a pretty big drop off. TeraWulf is in 5th place at 78 Bitcoin per exahash. Cypher's in 6th place at 72. So TeraWulf did jump up. They were in 7th place. They jumped up to 5th. So again, not much changes here. Not much changes. Riot at 66. They were in 8th place last month. They're in 8th place again this month. So Riot and Marathon at 72 and 66, while they are by far the biggest miners by exahash, you can see they're much less efficient at this time. And I'm not going to say the reason for that because there may be different reasons. And this may be a part of their growth plan. So we're going to have to see if they can get those numbers up to be competitive with those top four, because particularly Riot Blockchain has a lot of machines in immersion cooling. You would think they would be one of the more efficient. Now, they do sell some of their energy back to the grid, so that formula may change over time, and that does affect this number. So coming in at number 9 with 64 Bitcoin per exahash is Argo Blockchain, and then HUT is in a distant 10th place at 50 per exahash, and I suspect they are still self-curtailing. They're in the middle of moving a lot of machines around. They're focused on a potential merger of equals, so that obviously is the top of their list, and their production has suffered as a result of that, and their efficiency is not where it belongs at all. Okay, last one. This is the Bitcoin Hodl. So this is everybody's Bitcoin balance or Bitcoin equivalents in the case of Bit Digital as of March 31st, 2023. So you're going to see a few names that are not on any other list. A lot of the Bitcoin miners are not hodling at all. So if they are at 0, I didn't even include them on here. So you see, there's really 3 companies that have a large stack of Bitcoin. Marathon continues to be in first. They're in first place this month. They were in first place last month. So again, we're getting a lot of consistency on this list as well. So that's 11,466 Bitcoin. HUT is in second place at 9,133. They're in second place this month. They were in second place last month. Riot Blockchain's in third place this month, and they were in third place last month at 7,072. Those 3 are significantly higher than all of the rest of the companies. So there's a gigantic drop off to fourth place, which is Hive. So Hive does have a significant stack. They have 2,310 Bitcoin. So that's not insignificant. It's just a massive drop off from the top 3. So they were in fourth. They remain in fourth. Bit Digital is in 5th place. It remains in 5th place from last month. They're at 1,480. The next several are very similar and a big drop off. DMG Blockchain, which is a much smaller company, they have managed to hodl 443 Bitcoin. Bitfarms is now hodling. They were net positive this month. They added 20 Bitcoin to their hodl position. That is not much, but it is a turnaround for them. So they're now in 7th. They were in 8th. So they have 435 Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Cypher has 427 Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Cleanspark is down to 196, so they continue to basically sell most of their Bitcoin to fund their very aggressive growth, which is what puts Cleanspark in the top 3 in basically every other category in this entire list. And then Argo Blockchain does have 85 Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So you can see it starts to become very immaterial numbers down by the bottom. There's really 5 companies hodling and 3 companies that have a significant hodl. Okay, so that's an update for everybody for the March operations. Hive was the last one to report. They just reported yesterday, so that's why I'm getting this out to you today. I do try to get this out as soon as the top 10 have all reported. I try to get these reports out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I do think this month was very interesting. We're starting to see some trends and patterns develop where they were not in the past. So we'll see if those continue. In the meantime, Bitcoin continues to be very healthy. The Bitcoin miners continue to be very healthy. So thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, please remember to subscribe and smash the like button, and you can hit the notification bell to never miss a video. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.